Whatmore. My speciality on the drums is funk and kind of like grooving around the kit. I'm not especially into like flashy drumming, but I'm into groovy drumming. That's my thing. So my drumming background, I started playing actual drums when I was 8. When I was in a marching band, I was actually on cymbals in the band, but there was always drums hanging around, so I'd annoy everyone playing on the drums in between things. Before that, it was pots and pans with breaking my mum's, wooden spoons and that kind of stuff. And then got my first kit when I was 11, started gigging when I was 13, I kind of started off in like jazz, and then went into jazz and funk. And since then I've done kind of most things stylistically. And these days I mostly teach. I'm about 3 courses teacher to quarter gigging musician. So at the moment I've got a few kits. I have an electric kit by Gear for Music, which I use for teaching on in my little studio, and I have a Maxwin kit, which I actually bought for nostalgic reasons because I saw it stacked up in the corner of a school where I teach, and they let me have it for next to nothing because it's the same as my first ever kit. So that's kind of enjoying this retirement in my studio as well. For gigging, I have a Crush Ash kit, but the main thing that I gig with at the moment is actually a percussion rig set up. So I've got congas, bongos, timbales, all that kind of stuff. That's my main thing for gigging right now. So my favourite percussion, I've taken a lot of the last kind of year and a half, I've been applying myself to learning to play the congas properly. As a drum kit player, you can kind of blag your way through on the congas, but if you actually study the real congueros, the top guys, the technique is so high above what you might think it would be when you're just kind of blagging away. So I've really taken the time to apply myself to actually becoming a conguero. And so what I love doing right now, what I'm really into at the moment, is playing congas with my bare hands, obviously, and then combining that with playing like cowbells and timbales to my right. So I'm playing one-handed conga patterns while doing kind of grooving away with my right hand on the timbales and the cowbells and stuff. It's my current thing I'm really into. So I started playing actual drums when I was 8, and I got my first kit when I was 11. And whenever people ask me why I chose to play the drums, my answer is really that they kind of chose me. I didn't really choose drums, I was always just playing. Like since before I could remember, I was banging out beats on pots and pans and whatever else since I was literally like a preschooler. So I don't remember when I started, I just always was. So when I was in college, one of my college mates asked me to sit in for the drummer in their band for a gig. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, yeah. Turns out it was a death metal gig, and I'm a jazz drummer, or at least I was primarily back then. I was a jazz funk drummer. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell death metal is. So he gave me a tape, that's how old I am, we had tapes back then, of some examples of death metal, and I was like, I don't even get what I'm listening to. But when I analysed the drumming, I was like, okay, basically they're doing like, and the metalheads are going to hate you for saying this, but they're basically doing like a half-time funk and like a double-time gospel kind of thing. So like you got this kind of like, you got that, and then you've got like, whatever. So I figured, okay, I'll just do that. So that's what I heard anyway. So I came to this gig, no rehearsals. The guy, you got the vocalist doing his oh and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I don't even know what the hell this is. But I just blagged it. I just went between doing half-time kind of like heavy funk to that, what I thought of being like kind of gospel licks. I just mixed it up randomly, and at the end of the gig, they asked me to join the band. I'm like, yeah, thanks but no thanks. But it was cool, it was good fun. So that was like my one and only venture into death metal.